Welcome to Anand's Immortal, one of the greatest chess games of all time. In January 2013, at the prestigious Tata Steel tournament in Wijk NZ, reigning world champion Viswanathan Anand faced the world number 2, Levon Aronian. What followed was a breathtaking 23-move masterpiece that has been ranked the 3rd greatest chess game ever played. Anand, playing with the black pieces, unleashed a series of stunning sacrifices, including a hidden, smothered mate threat to demolish one of the strongest players in the world. Sit back and enjoy this extraordinary display of chess brilliance. Levon Aronian opens with the queen's pawn, signaling his intention to enter closed-game territory where he excels. Anand responds symmetrically with d5, immediately contesting control of the center. The queen's gambit. White offers the c-pawn to seize control of the central d5 square. Chex, the Slav defense, one of the most solid and reliable responses to the queen's gambit, protecting d5 without blocking the light-squared bishop. Knight to f3, the most popular continuation, developing naturally while supporting the center. Knight to f6, attacking the fr square and developing in classical fashion. Knight to c3, completing the standard setup. Anand's next move will define the character of the opening. e6, the Semi-Slav defense, one of the most theoretically complex and deeply analyzed openings in all of chess, and a favorite weapon in Anand's repertoire. e3, the Meran variation approach. White develops solidly, preparing to recapture on c4 with the bishop. Knight to d7, a key move in the Semi-Slav. The knight supports both c5 and f5 breaks while keeping the position flexible. Bishop to d3, aiming at the king side, particularly the e7 square, a standard developing move in this line. Anand captures on c4, entering the Meran proper. This pawn exchange opens the game for dynamic piece play. Bishop recaptures on c4, maintaining pressure along the a2 gate diagonal toward black's king. b5, the classic Meran pawn thrust, gaining space on the queen side and chasing the bishop away from its active diagonal. The bishop retreats to d3, still keeping an eye on the king side while maintaining its scope. Bishop develops to d6, a natural square controlling key central and kingside squares. Aronian castles kingside, getting his king to safety and connecting the rooks. Anand also castles. Both sides have completed their development. The real battle is about to begin. Queen to c2, a dual-purpose move, connecting the rooks and setting up a battery along the c2-a7 diagonal against black's king. Bishop to b7, developing the last minor piece onto the powerful long diagonal a8 pawn, where it eyes the white king side. e3, a prophylactic move preventing b4 and maintaining the knight's strong position on c3 die. The opening phase is nearly complete. Rook to c8, activating the rook on the semi-open c-file. The stage is set, and the game is about to catch fire. Knight to g5. Aronian goes for the aggressive approach, lunging the knight toward h7. This is the moment the game ignites, but it plays into Anand's deep preparation. c, a powerful counterblow in the center. Instead of worrying about the knight threatening h7, Anand strikes at the heart of white's position, opening lines for his pieces. Aronian takes the bait. Knight captures on h7, grabbing a pawn, but pulling the knight far from the action. This move has been played before in theory, but Anand has a devastating surprise prepared. Knight to g4. Brilliant. Instead of recapturing the h7 pawn, Anand brings his knight to g4 with vicious threats against f2 and e3 try. The knight joins the attack with tempo. Fowler, trying to block the dangerous diagonal and prevent the center from opening further. A necessary but weakening move. Anand captures on d4, ripping open the center while White's knight remains stranded on h7. The position is becoming critical for White. The pawn recaptures on d4. White's center is now exposed, and the d4 pawn becomes a vulnerable target on the open diagonal. Bishop to c5. Brilliant. Anand spent 30 minutes on this move, though it was part of his home preparation from the World Championship match against Gelfand. The bishop pins the d4 pawn and creates devastating tactical threats along the diagonal. Bishop to a2, trying to break the pin on the g4 knight and reorganize the defense. But the damage is already done. Black's position is overflowing with energy. Knight 7 to f5, the crowning sacrifice of the game. This knight cannot be captured. If f takes f5, Black has queen h4 with an unstoppable attack, including the spectacular smothered mate pattern. Queen gone check, rook takes gone, knight f2 checkmate. This brilliant motif echoes the legendary Rotlewi versus Rubinstein game from 1907. Aronian captures the g4 knight with the bishop. He cannot take the f5 knight, so this is the best available option to reduce Black's attacking force. Bishop takes d4 with check. Anand wins the central pawn while gaining a critical tempo. The discovered check forces White's king to move. King to hone, the only legal move. The king steps off the dangerous diagonal, but Black's attack continues to build. Knight recaptures the bishop on g4 tortor. Anand has won material and maintained a ferocious initiative. White is reeling. Knight captures the rook on fight. Aronian desperately tries to win back material. But the knight is now trapped deep in enemy territory, with no escape route. 5. Anand's favorite move of the entire game. He later said, "This move I am very proud of. To find it over the board is of course very nice." The pawn advance seals the knight's escape routes and opens the f-file for the devastating attack. The knight hops to g6, trying to find a way out. But it is too little, too late. The knight is running out of squares. Queen to f6, simultaneously attacking the trapped knight on g6 and preparing to swing into the kingside assault. The queen enters the battle with decisive effect. h3, desperately trying to create some breathing room for the king. But this pawn advance only creates another target for Anand's attack. Queen captures the trapped knight on g6 tower. The stranded piece falls, and now Black has an overwhelming material and positional advantage. Queen to e2, trying to hold the position together, but White's defenses are crumbling under the relentless pressure. Queen slides to h5, targeting the weak h3 pawn. The threat of queen takes h3 check is absolutely lethal. There is no adequate defense. Aronian tries queen d3, covering the important squares and desperately searching for counterplay. But there is simply no defense to what comes next. Bishop to e3, the quiet killer. This modest bishop move leaves White completely paralyzed. If the bishop is taken, queen takes h3 check, king gone, queen g2 checkmate. Or there is no defense. Aronian, one of the greatest players in the world, resigned. A masterpiece by Viswanathan Anand. And that is Anand's Immortal, a devastating 23-move victory by the world champion. Viswanathan Anand's brilliance shines through every key moment. The prepared bishop move to c5, the spectacular knight sacrifice on e5 with its smothered mate threat, and the quiet but deadly 5 that sealed the knight's fate. The final move, bishop to e3, left the world's #2 player with no defense against checkmate. This game reminds us why Anand is considered one of the greatest chess players in the history of the game. Want to play and improve your own chess? Visit chess99.com. Free, fast, and fun chess for everyone.